We're live.
Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Oh, that's great. So, for those of you joining us out there, hello. Say hi to us. We love seeing this community. And I love this time because we haven't done one for a long time or for a little while in the evening. So it allows for a wider scale of people to be able to join us. So that's exciting too. Usually we go live at 1:00 in the afternoon, Central Standard. But Mabel is in New York, and she is, I don't know, Mabel, I need to tell them this. She's a New York police officer, and yes, she has a really busy job along with her mindset business. And so we're going to be talking about Mabel's story. We're going to be talking about, she's going to coach us through it's 3 reasons why it's hard to follow your eating plan. And we may even invite somebody on screen if somebody's willing to do that. So stay with us. Now, you guys, if you can't be with us for the whole call, always remember these are on replay. So you can come back and watch this at any point and know that you can get all these points and tips. And we also have, sometimes I fail to say this, but on your smartphone, if you have a smartphone, there's an app called Crowdcast as well. So you can download these episodes and watch them on the go. It looks like we have Philip saying hello. We have Enid. Hello, Enid. We have Melissa. We have Bobby. Mabel. That's you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brittany usually joins us on the calls, and she wasn't feeling too good this evening. So fortunately, she's not here with us, but the show must go on. So we're gonna go ahead and go forward, and I'm gonna just check. Maybe I'm gonna let you kind of introduce yourself. I want to say first of all, we found Mabel while we were at the Bariatric retreat in San Diego, California. She was there as a speaker, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
And we connected with her at the bonfire. We had a bonfire and kind of learned about each other. And then Brittany, my colleague here, had to make a work trip to New York City. And then they went and did some fun things while we're there. So just Mabel, from that standpoint, go ahead and introduce yourself while I'm kind of looking on to our Facebook crew and see what we got there.
Okay. So hi, everybody. I guess where I could start is that I was overweight was my thing. Like I've been overweight my whole life. It's always been a struggle. That was always on my to-do list. It was always that I needed to lose weight. And it was just a struggle. Like I really thought something was wrong with me. I thought that food had a hold on me and I had no self-control. I always judged myself. And on top of that, I had this condition where I will like get boils. And the more like fat I would have on my body, the more boils I would get. And that just created like this vicious cycle of like wanting to emotional eat. And I couldn't move. It was just really, really stressful. And I just kept gaining weight as the years went on. And one day, a friend of mine mentioned weight loss surgery. And I heard about it and I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing that. I'm not about that. Because I really felt at that moment, which was, looking back, I only knew what I knew. But back then I really thought, if I did that, then I wasn't really doing it. I was taking the easy way out, right? The one thing that we hate other people saying, that's what I thought. So I didn't want to do it. And then one day I sat down and thought about it, like, this is an option for me. If my insurance pays for it, if I'm tired of being overweight, why not just do it? And I just decided to do it. So I've had weight loss surgery for 3 years, about to make 4 in June. And throughout that time, I've learned so much about myself because this journey is really more than just like this surgery. Like you really have to become this new person. And I don't know about your clinic, but mine just threw me. Like they said, you work on your mindset, the end. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll read some books. I guess I'll listen to some podcasts and try to figure it out. And so that's what I did, because I saw that after a certain point, I was gaining weight again, or I would see myself behaving in the same way that I did before. The food cravings will come. When I will have a bad day, I'll have like an episode of eating. And then with our stomachs, it was more dramatic because I couldn't really eat. And then I'll feel like throwing up. So it was just like crazy. And I told myself, like, I'm not gonna live like this. I have to figure this out, because I want to take this off my to-do list. Like I just want it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started reading books and listening to podcasts. And I found this one life coach, and she changed my mind. I mean, like she really changed the way I thought about my mind. Like she taught me things about how my mindset works and how to actually change my habits, how to actually become this new person, even while you're struggling in your current self, like how to not like stay stuck. And I just fell in love with that. And I told myself, like, oh my God, our community needs this. So I just told myself, I'm going to get certified. I'm going to get certified as a life coach, and I'm going to do this. And I've always been passionate about helping people, and it just made sense. It just made sense. And it's been a passion of mine. I really love helping people with their mindset, because once you work on your mindset, like there is no limit to what you could do. Like I'm doing things now that if I didn't work on my mindset, I could never possibly do, because all the doubt, everything just comes along. And if you start thinking that something is wrong with you because you have that, then you'll always stay stuck and you'll never take new action. I think I finished talking. I feel like talking.
No, that's so great. You know what though? I 100% agree with you, because I think wherever our focus is, you know, in our perspective, that is where we are in life at every moment. Like regardless of where you are, where your mind is. You could weigh, you know, 110 pounds and feel not good about yourself. You could feel upset. You could, I mean, you like that's where eating disorders come. People who get down to these really low weights even aren't happy. And, you know, I even found myself like needing to work on my own mindset, because, you know, whenever I lost down to the lowest that I was after weight loss surgery, I found that I'm like thinking, okay, I thought I was supposed to feel a lot different, because, you know, you think you're supposed to be this whole new person, which you are in a lot of ways, but, you know, your mind is, you still got to change those mind things. So it's a lifelong journey. And I feel like that's why sometimes people do struggle with regain after a certain period of time, because what happens is that first year is easy. You know, the weight comes off, you're super motivated, you're excited, but then all at once you start going back, you very slowly start those little patterns again. And I'm not just saying things we do as far as behavioral patterns, those mind shifts patterns that, you know, like you start going back to worrying about your weight every day. You start worrying about, you know, what you look like and all these little things that get you back into those old patterns.
Right. And if you don't understand why that's happening and how that's totally normal, then you will make it mean that something is wrong with you, or that you'll never be a person who could get to the other side. And that's why intentionally working on your mindset, like every single day, is so important. And we get so lost in our busy life, and we forget about like working on us. We think we're doing everybody a favor by being there for everybody and not taking time for us, but we cannot function properly without taking care of our mindset. I mean, you're going to function. You're still going to do the things that you need to do. But at the end of the day, when you look at your life, you're not going to be 100% happy, because you're not intentionally creating the life that you want to create. Because a lot of people, like, if you don't know how to do it, you're going to believe that it's impossible.
And it's not really about being we think it is about being a certain size, because those things do help us be healthy. It helps us move around a little better. Physically, the physical things that go along with the weight loss. But really and truly, when it comes down to it, no matter what size you are, big or small, how you feel emotionally, mentally, those things all add in. And those are just as important as the physical aspects too. I also want to say hi too, while we're kind of talking, we have a couple more people joining us too we have Kelvin here, and it looks like on our Facebook Live, we have some people, let me see here, joining as well. And I wanted to say hi to them. Mercedes is one. She says hi.
Hey.
Rachel was here with us watching. We had some others, and I just refreshed my screen. So as other people pop on. So I just wanted to say that. But Mabel, so I guess the big thing is tell us a little bit about your story. You said you didn't really know if weight loss surgery was the right thing for you. And I can remember feeling that way. I honestly think like my story was that I was overweight, but I worked in a weight loss surgery clinic, and I saw the first year that I worked there, I kept thinking, gosh, these people, they're doing so well. And it like took all the scariness out of it, where I didn't feel like I wasn't as scared to do it, because I kept thinking it was something way out there, that's not for me kind of thing. But so whenever did you have any medical conditions like that were kind of prompting you, or was just plainly having more weight than you wanted to have?
It was being overweight and also my boils, because the boils didn't go away because of my, like every time I would gain more weight, I would have more reoccurring like boils. So that was really my motivator, because sometimes these boils will grow so big and I'll be so uncomfortable. And I've tried to lose weight for so many years, and I just have to be honest with myself. Like, I need assistance. And that's okay. I think that when I first thought that I didn't want weight loss surgery, it was more about me. Like, why couldn't I just do it by myself? And what I really had to tell myself was that I've learned habits that were not helping me. And because I didn't understand how to change my habits, until I understood that, I was going to keep being overweight. So why not get a tool to help me lose the weight, stop all these like boils happening, and then while I start working on my mindset? It was just more like it alleviated a lot of like the chronic pain that I was experiencing. It just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like it helped me. It helped me like go forward and make things less like hard.
So at this point, I would love to show some of your before and after pictures, because I was like, I didn't know Mabel before she had, lost weight. And so she sent these to me before our live tonight. And I'm like, I didn't have any idea, because it's just hard to even see someone, at a different sizes. I didn't even have recognized you. So let me share my screen here for Mabel, and I'm going to actually pop on my folder that I have them saved in. So okay. Whoa, I kind of zoomed in really big. Whoops. And then I zoomed out. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. So tell us about this picture.
I was in Cancun, the before picture. I was pretending to be happy, but that smile was not real. I hate taking pictures. It was like the worst thing that I could ever do. Like, I will always like run away from the camera, but I guess because we were in Cancun, I had to take a picture. So that was a fake smile. I was 280 pounds there.
What were you?
Hot as hell.
How much did you weigh on that picture?
280 pounds in that picture.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. This picture, I was feeling myself. I forgot how much I weigh in this picture, but I think it was like 100 and maybe 80 pounds. It's not a body pic, but um, this was a good picture for me. I was really, I mean, do I look happy in this picture? I don't know. I think I was trying to be
Yeah.
sexy, but I was like 180 pounds in this picture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And then how about this one?
I think I was still high on meds. I don't know why I was doing. I don't know what was going on there, but this was a surgery date. Um, and when I look at this picture, I look at my boobs. I lost all my boobs. Like they're totally gone. There I was like 260 because I did lose some weight from the pre-op diet that we have to do
Mhm.
um before the surgery. But this was my surgery date.
Isn't it amazing thinking that, that was the day, like literally everything changed. Like there's a turning point. Like that's the turning
Mhm.
point right there. And then
I
here,
remember, yeah, I remember when I was in that bed, I told myself, okay, Mabel, you got the surgery. Let's get to work. Like, and what I meant by that was like getting to know me as a person, like trying to figure this out. This picture, I was I was in Cancun again.
you like
um,
Cancun.
uh,
You
yeah,
must like
yeah.
Cancun.
I did. And I think I really didn't take pictures, but when I was on vacation, I had to take pictures. What can I tell you about this picture? Um, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about this picture. I was pretending to be happy again. I was being forced to take this picture. I was like, all right, I guess we're gonna take it. I was very uncomfortable on this trip.
It looks like it's in a cave or something, like you were climbing, doing some
Yeah,
climbing.
we were climbing because downstairs there was like a pool thing. But it was this trip, I was so hot, so uncomfortable. I couldn't really like experience the vacation because all the time I was just complaining about my feet hurting, my legs hurting. I was exhausted. So I wasn't really present in the vacation. And also I was worried about what to wear. What am I gonna wear? Looking at that picture now, is that something that I will wear now? Probably not. It really wasn't, it doesn't express who I am. But here's the one thing I want to tell everybody. My issues weren't because I was overweight. It was because of my mind. And the reason we know this is because it doesn't matter what weight, like you can see people out there in the world that it doesn't matter what weight they are
Mhm.
comfortable in their skin, they feel good, they're dressed beautifully. It doesn't matter what weight you are, it's your mind. But I'm just letting you guys know that that was my state of mind back then. I was not happy. And I really didn't even try. Like I just put on some sweats and some shirt. Um, yeah.
And Philip says, so true. It
Mhm.
is.
This
Good.
was
Look at that handsome
actually
guy.
I don't even know why I took this picture, but this was actually my food funeral day. It was the last day before I had to go on my liquid diet, and I went to City Island in the Bronx. It's like seafood stuff because it's one of my favorite restaurants. So I thought to myself, once I got this weight loss surgery, I was never gonna go to the restaurant again because you have like this weird idea of like you can't eat certain foods and it's not like that. Like it's at the end of the day, it's about balance. Like you don't need to have food funerals. But this was my food funeral day. But the pirate.
Good old pirate. Now, I love this one. This is the last one here I think we have.
Yeah, I was actually in Spain for this picture. I was so uncomfortable. Again, we went on a couple of tours and my friend hated me. She really did. Because we went on these trails and I kept stopping and I was just so exhausted. But I think I was a little happier here. That's all I could tell you about this picture. The
You look
other
cute.
picture, uh,
Yeah. And
is
you look really good on that picture.
oh the what
I like
the
what you have
workout
on.
one?
Well, both. I mean, I think you look good over here as well as over here.
Yeah. Well, my state of mind back then, no, I wasn't feeling myself. But I think if I had the same mindset I have now back then, I would have like been more present and been okay with who I was as a person. This picture is just me working out. Because I worked on my mindset, I developed a love for working out, and something that if you would have told me that years ago, I would have been like, no, because I never wanted to go to the gym. I didn't want to feel any pain. It just seems so dramatic, this working out stuff. But yeah, I really enjoy working out now.
Well, I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you, Mabel. There's just some awesome pictures. You know what? It just makes it real whenever you actually see those before and after pics. And from that standpoint, like I want to just jump right into some of the things that we want to experience, because I want to kind of get to as much of your content. So tell us a little bit about what you do with your business. Like you have a side business, a side gig that you do mindset coaching, and then also about what you help people with, and then kind of work into our topic, which is, basically the 3 reasons why people aren't able to follow through with their meal plans like they want to.
Okay. So my baby is called Beyond the Sleeve Academy. What I do there is I help people with their mindset. So every week we have a coaching call where I help you with your struggles in your weight loss surgery. It's a group coaching or it's one-on-one, whatever, because people like different things. Some people like the private setting, some people like the community. And what I do is every week we clean up your brain. We clean up your brain of all the beliefs, the limited beliefs that you have, your thinking. Like I zoom into your thinking and show you your thinking that's creating the result in your life. And you're not going to do that by yourself. I mean, unless you like really work on it, you're really not going to do that by yourself. So I, as your life coach, zoom into your thinking and show you your thinking, because we think that we know everything we're thinking, but sometimes we don't know. Like sometimes we don't know the little things that we're saying to ourselves that's creating the things in our lives, or the behaviors that we're doing that somebody needs to point out, like, hey, why do you keep doing that? Like, what's the reason? Like sometimes we don't question our own behavior or look deep into it, or sometimes we really don't want to, because we don't want to see, like we don't want to hear the icky things about it, or we have so much judgment around it. And having somebody create that space for you is why I created my academy, because when I had my life coach and she was able to talk to me and create that space for me, that was when I was able to like really look into my brain and see all the things that I believed that weren't even true, but it felt so real. And it was nice to have somebody point it out to me, like, hey, you don't have to believe that. And in the beginning, you're like, what are you talking about? Because it feels real. So it's nice to have somebody pick your brain. So that's what I do. We talk about different topics every month. And yeah, that's what I do.
So Mabel, too, this is off that topic about Philip asked, did you have excess skin problems?
I still have a little bit of excess skin, but what I tell people is hit the weights, go to the gym and lift. That, like, if you are lifting from the now, when I say this, don't think it's too late, but let me just say this. If you start lifting weights from the very beginning as you're losing weight, your body is going to get toned as you're losing the weight. But if you keep waiting, then you're going to have like loose skin, and you're going to have to try to catch up and tone your skin. So the key to that is lifting. And a lot of people don't want to lift because they have these beliefs that it's going to bulk you up, but it doesn't. It actually helps you lose weight. And that's just us and our like ignorance when it comes to like working out. And think about it, like it wasn't part of our lives, right? So we have to get informed in that type of area. Like there's certain things that we don't know, and we just have to become, get the knowledge out there. But yes, I do have some excessive skin, but I'm just going to keep working out. And if I get a plastic surgery, then I'll do it. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, but I just been working out. In my arms, I I'm just working it out. And I'm just trying to see how far it goes. And then if not, I'll just get surgery.
Yeah. Well, it's all about where you feel comfortable, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, by looking at you in the workout clothes that you had on, I mean, look pretty good.
That's me going hard in the gym. And that's
Tone.
when I say hard, it's not that it's hard, but like I'm really like
Putting it into it.
immersed in the gym and like really trying to create the body that I want for myself. It's like falling in love with building your body. And that's like the experience you need to have to actually get into the gym and like love it.
Yeah. So, okay, let's see here. So let's first talk about the all or nothing thinking. Tell us about that.
Well, when it comes to meal prepping, when it comes to eating, right? If you have an all or nothing mentality, like you have to do things perfectly or not do them at all, you're going to fail 100% of the time. Because to get to point B, you have to do trial and error. Like there's no way that you're going to get everything perfectly. Like you have to create space and compassion for yourself to become this person who follows your meal plan, who like you have to become this person who actually meal preps, who actually knows what you're eating. That's another thing. Like we've been overweight all our lives. Like we don't know the science of food. We don't know what goes good in our bodies, what doesn't. And everybody's different. There's certain people that can have more carbs, more protein than others. Like you have to like really discover that for yourself. And there's no way that you're going to do that perfectly. So when you have an all or nothing mentality, all you're doing is like messing up your whole journey. And people do that, this all or nothing, because it feels powerful, it feels strong, it feels like you're being serious with yourself and that you're going to accomplish it. But all you do, all that is judging yourself. Like it's not useful at all. Like you could have compassion and make room for mistakes and still be focused on your goal. Like many people make mistakes mean that they're failing, but you have to make mistakes to learn. It's like make mistakes, you evaluate the mistakes, and then you move forward. I call that failing forward, because you're failing, but you're learning. And the difference is whether when you fail, you judge yourself, or you take that data and you try to do better next time, or you try to tweak things, adjust things. Because all of this is just adjusting and tweaking it for your life so that you could become the person that you want to become. And there's no way, listen to me, people, there is no way that you're going to do this all in one shot. You could try to fight it and be stuck, or you could give yourself room and compassion. There's no way around.
Well, Mabel, it makes me like think about like I can remember so many times before having weight loss surgery. This is that all or nothing. Like you'd start a diet, and by the end of the day, by the end of the next day, by the end of a week, you're like, I'm not doing anymore. Like you just kind of quit and you just fall off the bucket. That's that all or nothing. Like you think like, I'm going to start my diet on Monday. I'm going to start, I mean, we're talking, like an eating pattern, an eating habit. And that's that all or nothing, because you feel like you have to either be doing every single thing. You have to be perfect. You can't make a mistake, or you're not doing the right thing. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And there's a couple questions too. Can you see those in the chat? It looks like Melissa and Scotty.
Melissa says, how do you balance hydration and eating? Well, in the beginning, it is challenging, and you're going to have to be okay with that. Like just because it's challenging in the beginning doesn't mean that you're failing, doesn't mean anything, because now you have to learn your body again. And there's only but so much that you can eat and drink. So you just have to be kind to yourself and just drink as much as you can. What I did was I timed my stuff. Like I'll time I put an alarm and I'll just drink. In the beginning, what it seemed like was I was drinking the whole day. It really felt like I was drinking the whole day because I was taking sips the whole day. And little by little, like you'll be able to drink more. So you're not drinking constantly the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I balanced it. Like it was me drinking pretty much the whole day, sipping on my bottle. I have my bottle in my hand the whole day. And eating, I just scheduled it. Like, to balance, you have to schedule. You have to plan. Because if you don't have a plan, then it's going to be all over the place. So the balance you create. A lot of times people are like their day creates their balance, and that's not the way it works. Like, you have to intentionally decide that you're going to balance yourself and you're going to schedule. And no matter what happens, you're going to eat your food and you're going to drink your drink so you can take care of yourself. And
that is such a great reminder. God, that's a good reminder. It's and instead of living by default, you're living intentionally. You're not letting your day happen to you. You're actually being a part of it. And yeah.
Right.
And I know there's another question too. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Go ahead. Maybe you weren't finished answering that one.
No, it's okay. But what I wanted to say is it's going to be hard in the beginning, because before the surgery, you were a person who really wasn't doing this. And now you're doing it. So you're going to have to be okay with feeling uncomfortable doing the right thing for yourself, which is weird, right? Because you're like, wait, if I'm doing this, why do I feel awful? It's because your brain doesn't like new things. It survived doing whatever you've been doing. And every time you introduce a new behavior, it's like, what are we doing right now? Even though the behavior is great, it's something different. So you're going to feel that discomfort. But planning will help you. And then the other question is, what if you can't get to the gym right now, but you can only focus on nutrition? Well, first, what I want to tell you is, even if you can't get to the gym, you can still work out. Like, you just need, all you have to do is walk. And even if you can't if working out is not a thing for you and it's just nutrition, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. But there's always options. I'm almost curious to see why you can't get to the gym right now, but there's always options. But yeah, just focus on nutrition. Like, it's okay. Like, that's your part of your journey right now, and that's totally fine. Like, it's not going to be too late for you to hit up the gym later on and work on your body. It's all right. How often do you work out and walk? Well, right now, I pretty much work out every day, but you can't take me and my situation and try to motivate yourself, because you and I are two different people, right? So you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what works for me? Like, what would be a realistic schedule for me to work out? I'm a maniac now because I just love it. But if you're just starting off, I don't know, just pick 2 or 3 days. There's no wrong or right answer. The most important thing is for you to take at least a day and go work out and build from there. Scott, I'm going to say your name wrong, so I don't want to say it.
I think it's Scotty.
Scotty? Oh,
yeah. I'm grabbing my bottle of water.
No problem. I just had a second skin removal surgery a month ago. I have a final one April 19th. Okay, so right now, your part of your journey is recovering, right? So we're not going to even think about working out, and that's okay. And that's what I mean. People like to compare each other in this journey, and it's just too much. If you're doing this, I'm going to tell you right now, please stop. You're going to exhaust yourself. Everybody is in a different journey. We all have developed different habits. We all have inner work that's different from everybody else. So if you see somebody really doing good in one area, you don't know what they're really struggling with. So, you know what I mean? Don't look at everybody's amazing side of the story. Because everybody has different things to work on. My thing is working out, right? You can't compare yourself to me because I love to work out. So my journey and your journey is not going to be the same.
And sometimes I think the more you do something, the more you feel drawn to it. You feel your confidence builds a little bit and you feel it invigorates you and you know the benefits. So you kind of want to do it more. But in the beginning too, it may just be walking 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes or 15 or something.
Which supplements I use? Well, I use you because listen, I wasn't taking my vitamins. I'm not gonna lie to you. Then I met Brenda and I'm like, okay, you know what? I think this was a sign. And I just use their vitamins and pre-workout. That's all I do. So I take my multivitamins and I do C4 for pre-workout to work out. That's all I do. Nothing magical. That's it. One thing I wanted to add, and good thing I wrote this because I lose track. If you keep having an all or nothing attitude, you're going to keep stopping, which is going to stop you from building consistency in your journey. Because a lot of people say to themselves, well, I'm not consistent. And it's because you're not following a plan over and over again because you're stopping, because you're judging yourself as you're growing through your, habits. So stop the all or nothing thinking is stopping you from actually becoming consistent, building that skill set of being consistent. And once you become consistent in that area, then no matter what happens, it becomes automatic in your brain. The hard part for me is getting into the mindset that it's okay to recover. Why? Now, this is part of the mindset thing. Like you have to question everything that you say to yourself. Like, why is it hard for you to just recover? Do you think you don't deserve to recover? Are you panicking because you think that you're doing something wrong or you're going to fail or you're going to be left behind? Like, what is going on that you don't think is okay to recover? Because you're going to have to recover anyway. I'll wait for him to comment on that. But yeah, that's all I have for all or nothing mentality. The next one.
So that kind of brings us into managing your. Oh, I'm going to let you talk.
I don't know. It's okay. We're just going with the flow here. So the next one is you're not managing your emotional life. Let's see. Kevin says, what was your recovery time after initial surgery? How long after surgery before you could work out? It was a month. The doctor said not to do anything until a month. And what I did was I started walking. So after my surgery, I walked. I walked like a mile, then I walked 2 miles, then 3 miles. And after that month, I just started going to the gym and just playing around with things. And then little by little, I just started going crazy, going to class because I didn't know how to work out. So this is a pro tip. If you don't know how to work out, join a class. Let the instructor teach you how to work out. And so then when you're by yourself, you could work out. A lot of times people don't want to go to classes because they're thinking about how other people are going to perceive them. You're worried about the wrong thing. Nobody cares about you. We think that other people care about us, but they're in their own heads. Go to the gym, work out, learn how to work out. I went on a rant. Sorry. All right, back to managing your emotions.
It's true.
No, but it's true. Like I have a lot of people say, well, I don't like to work out in front of people. And it's like, do you always want to be a person who is afraid of doing things because of other people? Like, what type of life is that? It's not even fun. So might as well work on that. Like, why do you have an issue doing things in life? Like, work on that issue. And how I worked, like I never liked to look at myself in the mirror. So what I decided to do was when I was in class, I would stand right in the front and look at myself work out. For the first few months, I was cringing the whole time. But after that, I just fall in love with looking at myself working out. So work on the problems that reveal themselves to you as they go. I'm losing track. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just so passionate about this. I go all over the place. All right. 2, I'm going to stay focused. you're not managing your emotional life. And what I mean with that is that you're using food to cope with your life instead of using your mind to cope with your life. And if you're doing this, I want you to know that it's okay. It's a learned behavior. And this is just the work that you have to do. Um, a lot of us don't know much about feelings. I know for me growing up, I didn't really have time to like be in my feelings. Like in my household, being in your feelings really didn't propel you forward to do the things that you had to do. Like we had to move fast, we had to do this, we had to do that. Nobody really had time. Not that I wasn't loved or anything. I grew up in a nice home, but we didn't have time to really talk about feelings. So I didn't know how to even do that. I didn't know how to like be with my emotions. As soon as I felt uncomfortable, I felt like I had to solve for it. I didn't like to feel like angry or anything. Like I had to solve for it. Like something was wrong. But when you learn that feelings is a normal part of the human experience, like you're supposed to feel things, then that actually opens up a whole new world. And when you know that you're the only one that creates your feelings, people, this is important for you to know, okay? This is going to change your life forever. You are the only one that creates your feelings. We are taught that the external world, people, traffic, the weather, what happened to you at work is what creates your emotion. And when we think that, then we always feel out of control of our emotion. But the truth is your thoughts about the external things. That's what creates your emotions, which means that you are always in control of how you feel. 100%. So you never have to feel like you're out of control. You are creating that emotion with the thoughts that you're having. Now, do we want to be disappointed and angry sometimes? Yes. We're not we're not psychos. Like we're humans, and sometimes we want to be angry about things, and that's okay. But know that you're the one creating that anger, and when you're ready, you could create new emotions by thinking new things. Some people choose to stay negative because they think they're doing something, but all you're doing is hurting yourself. You create your emotions, and when you're ready, you could change them. And I think a lot of people don't know this. And what they do is they try to solve it with food, right? And we all know that doesn't work. 100% of the time, it does not work. And all it does, it adds more to the emotion. And now you're eating again to try to solve for the pile of emotion that you're creating for yourself. All because you don't want to feel that emotion. And another important thing to know is that feelings are just vibrations in your body. That is all it is. And we are like us as a society, all we do is run away from emotion. But when you really think about it, it's just a vibration that we feel. And sometimes some vibrations are harder to feel than others, but it's all it is, a vibration that you're having because of a thought that you're having. When you start thinking about your emotional life like that, I promise you it will change everything. So you don't need to run food to food. Like you could totally manage your life without food, using your mind, using your thinking without any fear. Like you're gonna be okay. Let's see, do I have any more notes about this?
No, I just want to add something too. Is that okay, Mabel?
Yeah,
I think, yeah, like what you're saying is like so spot on. So to me, your emotions are just feedback.
Yes.
They're feedback from that higher part of yourself that tell you, if you're feeling negative emotion, that means it's not in congruence with your authentic self. It's meaning it's telling you, you know what? You're thinking something that's not really who you are or what you are. It's kind of giving you a little feedback there. So when you really listen to it in that way, even when you experience negative feedback, it's like, okay, so I feel really upset because, and then you ask yourself, Because I think the more that we're triggered by something, something, if it's a really strong trigger that makes you really angry or really sad, or the more it triggers you, to me, that's telling you something very strongly about yourself,
Right. I love to think that emotions are just telling you where is your next work. If you are experiencing like a moment in your life where there's a feeling that just comes and you have no idea why it's happening, then that is the next chapter that you need to work on. Like that's the next space as you're like working to develop yourself. Like why is it that this person is triggering me? It's not them. I know a lot of people are like, no, it's definitely them. No, it's your thoughts about them that's triggering you, because that person can behave the same way and somebody else will totally feel something different. But because of your thinking, you're triggered in that way. You're creating that feeling for yourself. So emotions are really just an indicator for you. And it's always questioning why. Why am I feeling this way? What's going on? What do I need right now? Do I want to feel this way? How can I feel better? What do I need to think? Because your thinking creates your emotions.
So Mabel, there's a couple comments on our chat box, but also there's one on Facebook. And so I'm going to jump back and forth. I'm going to address the one on Facebook, and then we're going to read the other two that Scotty and Philip wrote. So the one on Facebook is from Mercedes, and she says, I'm stuck in 180. What I can do to keep losing weight?
Okay. Change it up. Like, I know you want me to give you the exact answer. Girl, I don't know. This is why the failing forward happens, right? Like you have to evaluate like what you're doing now and what can you do to lose more weight. Are you eating more calories than you're losing? Like you really, and this is why tracking, I know people don't like tracking, but the only way to get information is by having the data in front of you. We don't like tracking because, I don't know, for me, it was a habit where I didn't want to see the truth. So I never tracked. But if you want to take it to the next level, you need the data so that you could see like, oh, this is what I'm doing right now. And it's creating 180 pounds. What can I do to create 170? I don't know. I guess that number. But that's when you're going to get from point A to point B, fail forward. You're going to try different things. You're going to change it up a little bit. Maybe you need to lift more weights. Maybe you need to like lessen the amount of like a particular type of food. You really just have to take the data and play around with it. I don't know the answer. And nobody's going to know the answer until you keep trying. And sometimes we don't want to keep trying because that failing doesn't feel amazing, but you have to keep telling yourself that you're just trying to figure this out. And that right now at your weight, you're amazing. You're just trying to get to the next level. I hope that helped.
I love that answer. Do you want to read the ones on Crowdcast here on our chat box?
Let's see. Calvin. No, wait, I read that already. Scott, right? Sorry. I have been on my journey for almost 3 years. I don't want to fail and gain my weight back. That gives me the mindset that I'm not allowed to fully recover. But why are you correlating your recovery with failing? So your thought is that you're going to fail if you just let yourself recover. But I want you to think about this. Like, what if you don't recover? What if you really go out there and you just start doing all the things? Do you think you're going to get closer to your goal? Right? Because logically, you won't. So that's why you have to be okay, because your brain is going to say things to you like that. It's going to be like, oh, we have to do this now. We have to get to the goal. You have to be okay with your brain panicking. Is that survival part of our brain that is always trying to make sure we stay out of danger. Your brain is thinking for some reason that recovering is danger because maybe you're in a standstill. Maybe you're not doing anything to achieve your goal. But you have to change your mindset around recovering. Recovering is getting you closer to your goal, because once you fully recover, you could give 100% to your journey. But if you start working out now and start doing, going to the gym, you're going to be doing half the work and you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to end up back in the hospital, if anything. So it's just constantly talking to your brain back. A lot of this mindset thing is talking to yourself. I know people say don't talk to yourself, but you're talking to yourself. You're talking to your brain, because your brain will tell you crazy stuff. Like, so every time that thought comes up, you'll be like, no, I'm recovering. I'm perfect. Exactly. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm not going to fail. And this is another thing I'm going to tell you. The skill sets that you've learned to this very moment will always stay with you. You're never going to revert back. You know how much work you have to do to actually go back to who you were? That's another mindset thing. Like, that's another mindset work to get back to who you were. There's no way that you're going to become that person. Like, you intentionally have to decide that you're going to become back. You're going to go back to being that person. And that's a lot of work. So remind yourself of that. Because a lot of people say that to themselves. Oh, what if I turn back to who I was before the surgery? It's a lot of work. It's still a lot of work. It doesn't just happen overnight. Just like becoming this new person is work, becoming the old person is work too. So you have to talk to your brain. It's okay. Oh, everybody's giving me compliments. Thank you. The more compliments. But yeah, guys, it's just your brain. It's just, you have to allow space for your survival brain to do all the wacky stuff that it does, and know that it's just a human brain being itself. Like, nothing has gone wrong. And you can intentionally decide what you're going to think. Another gem that I want to give you guys is your thoughts create your feelings fuel your actions, and then your actions create your result. You will always have 100% control over your result, because you always are in control of your thinking. It's always looking at your thinking and deciding to think things on purpose is going to create the result that you need to create. And if you don't believe it, then you have to ask yourself why you don't believe it. And that's the work. Sorry, what else?
I love it. No, that's wonderful. I guess we got about 10 minutes left, and I know you have one more bullet point that you wanted to go over. But I'm also open to too if you're wanting to do some coaching. So I know you got one more bullet point, but
I'll just say the third bullet point. I won't even preach about it. The third thing is these silly rule books that we have about what we should eat, what we shouldn't eat. Let them all go. Figure out what works for you, and that's it. Like, let go of all those dumb rules that you have about what you should be eating and what you shouldn't. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to some coaching. Wow, time is going by fast.
Do we want to invite somebody on screen? Do you want me to?
Yes.
So what kind of questions are you looking for? Somebody who has a question. Unfortunately, we do have people on Facebook, but if somebody on Facebook wants to ask a question, we can take a question. We won't be able to invite you on screen, but we can invite, if somebody on our Crowdcast platform wants to come on screen, we can invite them on screen.
Right. And if there's any pending questions, you can always send it to me, and I'll make a video of answering all the questions.
Oh, Mabel, I love that.
If you're deciding to participate, and you're thinking about it and you feel like you want to, but you don't know, I want you to know that it's totally normal that you feel uncomfortable and you don't want to participate. But work through the emotion, find courage, and get the help you need. This might change your life. Sorry, that's it.
I'm just going to tell them to raise your hand on Crowdcast. Basically, or let us know if you want to come on screen, if you're on CrowdCrest. And if you're on Facebook, if you have a question, just post the question.
I guess if you're coming here for coaching, tell me what you're struggling with, and we'll start from there. And I'll show you your mindset.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
If you feel like watching other people getting coached is one of the most powerful things, because we think we have different problems, but they're always the same.
Yeah, if somebody's brave enough, honestly, like the question that Mercedes asked about being stuck at a weight, to me, that was fantastic advice. And it probably, it kind of triggered some things in me, like got me thinking a little bit, and I'm sure some other people. So it always helps if you're on the call. A lot of times, if your question can sometimes help another person. And if you don't want to come on screen, that's okay too. Just ask your question.
I'm here, people.
I was just gonna say, if it's okay, Mabel, I'm gonna actually show them too how to get a hold of you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In the meantime, oh, we got one. Melissa posted, and Sunshine posted.
I struggle still thinking I am still 334 pounds, even though I'm 165 now. How do I fix my brain to stop seeing myself that way? So you have to give your brain evidence of why you're 160 pounds now and you're not 334 pounds. What's happening is that you have recycled thoughts that just transferred over to the body that you have now. Like, you have to look at yourself in the mirror every day and intentionally tell yourself, I'm 165 pounds. I'm not 334. The way you fix it is by intentionally thinking what you want to think on purpose and practicing it over and over and giving yourself evidence. How would you give yourself evidence? Look at your closet. What size were you at 334? What size are you now? If you have to go to the store and try out new clothes, do that. How are you feeling now at 160 pounds as opposed to 334? Like, start looking for evidence in your life that you're not the person who's 334 pounds. Now, in the beginning, it's going to be difficult. It's going to feel like a struggle between your old thinking and your new thinking. But the more you do it, the easier it'll start getting. The more evidence you give your brain every single day, the easier it will start getting. Because then your brain is going to be like, oh, maybe we are 165 pounds. And it'll just start muting itself. But you have to intentionally do the work. A lot of times with this mindset work, people don't want to do that because it just feels uncomfortable. But that is the work. That is the mindset work. Like, you can't let your brain like just go off on its own. It's like a toddler with like a knife, like running around, like acting crazy. You have to control your brain. You have to tell it what you want to think, because you are in control of your brain. It's going to offer you. We have 60,000 thoughts, around 60,000 thoughts a day. You have to control what you are going to think on purpose, and everything else, just let it flow in the air. You're not crazy. It's okay. This happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. How do you stop self-sabotaging? You just have to decide. Now, when I tell this to my clients, they want to kill me all the time. But listen, you really have to stop. You have to really decide that you're going to stop doing it, and you have to be okay that it's not going to be perfect. Because the reason you're saying that is because you're probably thinking about your mistakes that you make, and your perception about that is that you're sabotaging yourself. But you're actually learning to become this new person. Like, evaluating your mistakes and learning from them will make you see that you're not really I don't know why I can never say this word. Self-sabotaging yourself. You're turning into this new person. So of course you're making mistakes, but you're learning from them and moving forward. Self-sabotage is really not a thing. It's like a negative perspective on changing. and then making mistakes. But people call it that. And calling it that will make it seem like you're hurting yourself. And that just comes with a lot of guilt. And it's just extra drama that you don't need. It's part of the journey to like make mistakes and repeat the same things that you've done for years over and over again. It's okay. Like create space for that. I hope that answered your question. Let's see. I find myself grazing and snacking when I'm not even hungry. I'm sleepy and bored. That's the second bullet point that I was talking about. You are trying to fix your emotions with food. You're not like, it's not just happening. You've been doing that for so many years. And now you have to intentionally watch yourself. This is another mindset thing. You have to watch yourself like a movie. Like, when am I snacking and looking for food? What am I feeling? Like, what do I need right now? Why can't I just be with the vibration of the emotion? Why do I need food? Because food is it's not gonna help you. Or maybe you're just hungry. Are you eating enough food? Like, why are you snacking? Are you hungry? Because if you are hungry, go eat some real food. Stop snacking. You know what I mean? Like, you have to evaluate. I don't know. I haven't seen your behaviors, but you have to look at yourself. It's not just happening. You're doing it, and there's a reason why you're doing it. Oh, Melissa, I am so happy that helped you. Thank you, Sunshine. Do you have anything on Facebook?
I am looking here right now. I think we're okay right there. There's a few people still there, but I don't see any questions. Okay. I'm going to actually share because I just feel like there may be people. I'm going to share my screen here, Mabel. I feel like there may be people that might even be interested in like working further with you, because I feel like just what you've did this little bit on this call was really helpful and inspiring. And so I'm going to Mabel's website, which I'll copy here and I'll put it in our chat box here in a second. But her website is here. So Mabel, tell us, if they were going to your website, I also have your Instagram page pulled up, which I'll do. Is there anything on here that they might find helpful, like joining your academy or becoming a private client?
Right. Once you click that, you schedule a consultation. Now, don't get scared, right? Because a lot of people get scared. It's just me talking to you, showing you your brain, showing you how I can help you, and you just make a decision. There's no pressure. There's no nothing. But if you need help, go get the help that you need. There's certain information that other people have that you don't have, and that's okay. That's part of growing. That's part of learning. And that's something I had to learn myself too. Like, I don't know everything. I would like to think that I'm a genius sometimes, but there's certain areas that I just don't know. And I have to go out there and find the information. Try something new. I'm not only with my program, but anything out there in your journey. Try it and then decide that it didn't work out. But don't imagine it with your mind and not try it. But if you really need help with your mindset, if you're overeating, if you're snacking, if you don't know how to like stop emotional eating, I am your girl.
And I'm going to kind of click over to your Instagram page too, which is Beyond the Sleeve Academy, all one word. And yes, so here's how you could, if you can always message her on Instagram too. Right up here, message.
And just my post alone will help you with your brain. Like, just go follow me. I also have a podcast. If you click on the link, you'll be able to go to the podcast.
Is it here?
Just be open to new information. Yeah. Certain links might not work. Well, if you click on the podcast, it's going to work. But I'm in the middle of fixing stuff.
So here's your podcast. It's on Apple?
Yes, it's on Apple. Okay. It's on other stuff too, but I just put Apple there. Listen to the podcast. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to message me. I would definitely help you out. But if you want to take this work to a deeper level,
I'm going to put both these links on our chat box, and I'll put them on Facebook here too when we get done so that people will have them. So here is the one for her academy, her website. And then the second one here is for her
Instagram.
Yeah, well, I could put Instagram too. I have the Apple Podcast.
Oh, you could do that too. Yeah.
I'll put all
And
three of
listen, if
them.
the links don't work for some reason, because it's on my to-do list to fix it, just message me and we'll figure things out. But I'm definitely gonna go to sleep after this. So I'm definitely not gonna fix the website today.
It's probably getting late there in New York. What time is it there?
It's 9:35, and I gotta
Oh,
be at
holy
work
cow.
early in the morning. But it's okay.
Oh,
This is
my
part of it. When you do something you
computer.
love, you just do it.
Well, we really appreciate you. And I know these people, honestly, this has been really enlightening. I really appreciate, Mabel, what you're doing. And I appreciate you being here with us and taking the time to spend with all these nice people on here, because it keeps doing the same thing. I'm going to have to, it's saying, oops, you already sent that message, which I didn't. So I'm not sure why. But if you go to her website, you go to maybe it'll let me post the Instagram page. Try that. Go to the Instagram page. We have that. Yep, I have that. So you can find the podcast off her Instagram page, off the link. And so, and I'll post those on Facebook here in just a moment. But thank you so much, Mabel, and all of you that are listening. We love you. We love you. And thank you. And again, I'm sorry Brittany couldn't be here with us. She would have loved to see you again. And looks like that's everything. I could talk to you all night, but I know you need to go to bed and get some sleep
we all have things to do.
Yes. to do all the many jobs you do.
Yeah, and I'll definitely come back. We'll keep
Yeah, we will. Thank you. And we're going to see Mabel at the Bariatric Retreat in Orlando, Florida over Mother's Day weekend. She's a speaker there. So you know what? Come and see her there in person. And me, I'm going to be there too.
Yes.
So yeah. So thank you, everybody. We love you. Have a great evening. Get some rest and wake up. It's a new day tomorrow.
All right.
So Peace. Thank you. Bye-bye.